Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is me, Donica.
This is Essence.
Okay, we are back for another podcast episode, and I just want to kind of give a little bit of recap on some things that we have been sharing and talking about. And on the last podcast episode, I was talking about for families getting back in balance, restarting, starting over. And I gave you some tips, and I want to share those few tips with you. And we are going to jump right in essence with our next conversation. So we were talking about getting back in balance, starting over, being brand new with your family. If things are working for you, go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. If not, if you need to retweak some things, I had some S suggestions for you to slow down, stay focused, have a schedule, have structure, and have some systems and strategies for your family. That's 5 and 6 for your life and for your family. And I remember on our last podcast, since I talked about, I gave you 5 S's, and then today I gave you bonus S. But there's the ending that I ended with was a C, and that is be consistent. Because sometimes we have to start over and repent and do things brand new. However, essence, if we are consistent, we don't have to start over. We will have growth for our families because we've been talking on several podcasts, broadcasting episodes about things relating to the family. And so we're going to keep going, Essence, and talk about something different. I think some of our podcast broadcasting episodes have just been birthed from organic conversations. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. When we just kind of, these are sometimes the topics we're covering are things that we actually have in our personal life, and we think, well, if we're talking about these things, maybe other people are talking about them in their personal circles as well. And I like to do that, kind of just have a natural conversation. That's what I prefer.
Yeah, I think so. And then it makes them, well, if we're thinking about this, then maybe other people are thinking about it too. And so we're going to just jump right in. You can see me on the broadcast because I'm recording, but Essence is here. We're recording, and she's off camera. That's okay because you can hear her response too. And so, one thing that we are going to talk about today, Essence, is you can just jump right into the conversation. What are we sharing with the audience right now?
Ooh, I forgot what we were talking about.
We have lots of things to talk about.
Right. But we had just said it. It escapes me. Remind me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, we have more than one topic to talk about, but do you want to start right now with are you married but single?
Yeah. Yes. Married but single. I think that's a very interesting topic. Yes.
Are you married but single in terms of you are a married person? Because on the last broadcast, we were talking about 36%, a couple of broadcasts ago, 36% of black children are raised in a two-parent home. And so our conversation about it, so what? So why does it matter? Or what are the benefits or the risk? But then the flip side of the conversation, you are in a married relationship and you're at home, but you're married, but you're single. And what are some of the reasons why you would be married but single? Because the other person, I'm going to say husband or wife, is not engaged in raising the children. They're more focused on their career. They're more focused on their hobby. They're, working too much. They may not be focusing so much on career, but they're just working so many hours to provide for the family that they're never home. Or they have auxiliaries and hobbies. They're traveling a lot. Maybe the person is distracted by vices, gambling, shopping, drugs, things of that nature.
So many things. Yeah.
So many things. Maybe they're not even in the home, they're in jail. Things like that. So,
right.
Are you married? Are you married but single? And what do you think that feels like, Essence?
I feel like that may be, and I was trying to find some statistics on it, even though I'm not a huge fan of statistics. But I just wanted to kind of find some numbers on it, of married women who are married but still feel single. In the context that I think about it, is more so for parents, for individuals who have children, they're married, but the woman still feels single. That kind of piques my interest a lot, and I don't have the numbers on it. And
I
that,
would also say, are you married but single when you're in a marriage relationship and the other person is emotionally unavailable?
I think
That
that's
could
what
be
it,
one
I
reason.
think that's what it I think that's what it kind of stems from, because we of course live in a society where there are gender roles and norms and things of that nature, and it's very easy to end up in a situation where the man may feel like, I provide financially, I pay the bills, that's my part, you do everything else. And I think also, just in my own observations and conversations with individuals, that on either side, that women may feel like it's easier to provide financially, and men may feel like it's easier to do the domestic work within the home. I do remember some data I saw that said, a married woman with children who's working outside of the home also, the amount of effort that she has to put into her daily life is as if she's working 2.5 full-time jobs.
Mm.
And that is having 2.5 full-time jobs. You have to be a wife, that's a full-time job. You have to be a parent, that's a full-time job. And you have to work your actual job, that's
Wow.
a full-time job. And so I thought that piece of data was very interesting. And
So you think that if the person is, she's being a wife, being a mother, working full time jobs, in terms of stress and time expended, that's like having 2.5 jobs. And you think that the maid, I'm just asking your opinion, you believe that the maid that's not supporting is an emotionally absent? I think, are you married but single is a nuance of more than just one thing. Maybe it is the parent that, um, the parent, one parent has to go to work and do the 2.5 jobs, and then the other parent comes home. They did their job, and they're gonna sit down in front of the TV and have a beer.
right.
So I think there's,
Right, and for some people, that is a part of their routine or schedule, where, maybe the man comes home and he needs to unwind for a moment, maybe play his video game, maybe listen to some music, you know, whatever the case may be, but that may be a part of the schedule within that home. He'll have his unwind time when he get home, and then he can jump in and help. But sometimes there's no jump in and help. There's, I'm gonna go off and do this until dinner is ready. I'm gonna have dinner with the family, and then I'm gonna go back to having my me time, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
so when does a woman get a chance to sit in front of the TV and have her me time?
I feel like nowadays that is becoming more prevalent, and people are becoming more aware of their partner's needs. I think society is still very traditional, in the sense that the woman is expected to handle domestic tasks and the man does not. Now, I would say that also, from my own personal observations, I think that I think that it's almost a swap. I think that men would be able to handle domestic tasks more easily. Not in the sense of the juggling capacity, having to juggle multiple things at once, but on a simple fact, I'll say from my own experience with my co-parent, when we were residing together, he was very efficient with packing the bag, getting dressed, getting in the car, and getting out the door, right? From that would take him 30 minutes, where it took me hour and a half, 2 hours. And that is because it was a mental jumble for me, and I had to, in order to get out of the door.
Was it a mental jumble for you, or were you not organized, or?
Right. In order for me to get out the door that quickly, I have to pack the bag the day before, get the clothes out the day before. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those things, because you have to know and understand what works for you and how you have to be efficient. I just think that maybe there needs to be a little bit more flexibility in how things are run. But back to the point of being emotionally unavailable, that is a deep-rooted thing in tradition, in my opinion. If a man or a woman feels like, well, that's a woman's job, or that's a man's job.
I think that we're on the same page for the conversation. Are you married but single? But what that looks like and the definition of it is different.
It's so many things.
It is so many things. But when you say being emotionally unavailable, I'm not meaning being emotionally unavailable to a task, or he's better at packing a bag, or he's coming home from work and he's watching TV and visiting out having a beer. I mean in a romantic sense. Dating sense.
Those things tie into it. How can you
not tie? It don't.
It is, because if you're living in a house with somebody and you have to take care of all these lists of tasks, even if they're minute, small things, how can you be romantically motivated to deal with them when they're leaving so much on your plate and won't take any of it off?
So I would say for that woman who, that's a lot. Okay, she got to take care of the whole family, do everything, and he romantically unavailable. Let's separate it for example. Let's separate it and say, okay, he is the husband who helps with the lunch, helps with the homework, give the kids a bath, put them in the bed. He's doing all that part. Mm-hmm. But she is lonely, and she is married but single because he's not romantic. He does not engage her. That is one component. It certainly can be both. It can be both essence, where she is just spent or he is just spent, because there are men that does everything. That the man is getting off of work, cooking the dinner, getting the kids ready for bed, doing the homework. He's doing all of that, and she is not being romantically available. Ooh. Or the flip.
I think that is a result of poor communication. I don't even think it's about being married.
No, some people are not romantic. Some people.
Even still,
I would give the example for myself. For myself, if the kids are sick or something, my sisters might say, "Hey, go make some soup for the kids and go make a tea for the kids," or something like that. Well, I will do it as a task, but I'm not that. Come and let me hold you. I'm not nurturing. I'm not nurturing. So one of the mates may be replace the word nurturing with the word not romantic. And that person,
but it's still a communication thing.
What you tell the person, I need you to be romantic, and what?
Right. And so, okay, right. And this is why there's, amongst the young folks on social media, there's this whole thing, if he wanted to, he would, right? If he wanted to, he would. It don't take, because being romantic.
If he wanted to, he would. What? Anything?
Whatever it is.
If he wanted to, he would.
With the use of technology and all these things out there, social media, it's not hard to execute romantic tasks, even if the man isn't feeling mushy about it, because men who are romantic probably don't feel mushy about the romance neither. They know that that's just probably things that their partner would like for them to do. Something as simple as bringing flowers home once a week, once a month. They know that that's going to make their partner's day. That's romance to women, but that's a simple task to men. And so it's a communication thing. If you are already articulated,
so it's partner, because she did not communicate,
or he did not listen,
or she did not communicate, or he did not listen,
I say it's a bit of both.
The lack of person whoever's the person who's not romantic, and the person needs romance. The other person saying, "This is what I need from you," and the other person is being a giver of the need. So you say that is married but single because of a lack of communication.
I don't think that, to me, for how I think about married but single, I don't think lack of romance and poor communication falls into that category. That's just poor structuring, just period all around. Like, that relationship just needs more work, right? Because to me, I very fully think about marriage in the business capacity as well as the love component as well. But I'm a little bit heavier on the business capacity because I do feel like your household is your business. And how do you run your business? And if I have a partner that is, we have found what works for us in our system.
Yes.
We have found what works for us in our system. That's cool. If the romance component is missing, that's a communication thing. I don't think that's the same thing to me. I don't think not having romance in your relationship is being married but single. But then again, I've never been married, so maybe that's why I feel that way.
Yeah, I think there's some women or some men that would not agree, but that's what dialogue and conversations and communication all means, to agree to disagree. I think there's several components or several reasons why a person could be in a marriage relationship and feel married but single. One is overwhelmed. They're doing everything. They're doing both. They're supporting.
Supporting
about
financially and the home front.
The one that's doing it all.
Right.
They're paying the bills. They're taking care of the kids. They're going to donuts with dad, even though it's you the mama. You know what I mean? You're doing it all, but you married. You married, and the dude is like, "But I married you, right?" You know what I mean?
Well,
we married,
right?
That
marriage probably shouldn't have came about in the first place, and I think that
no,
yes, because
no, the people just maybe sometimes stuck in their ways.
Core values are core values. They cannot and will not more than likely change. And if you are with someone and you guys have different core values, I think we talked about this on a different podcast. If you're with someone and y'all have different core values, in the long run, the relationship can survive, but it will never thrive. And that's just signing up for extra challenge. Like the marriage itself is going to be challenging. Having children enough is going to be challenging. Why add the additional layer of not being able to be on the same page on your core values? Now, it's not in what how to say in the church. It's not certain things are not a heaven or hell issue, right? To you, but to your partner it may be. To the man, it's not a heaven or hell issue who takes out the trash. But to the woman, she like, I should never have to touch a trash can, right? That could be a major thing.
Yes, I heard a lady on the radio or social media or something, and she was like, I haven't put gas in my car in years, and it's like, okay, that's not a
So for me, having young boys, older women always compliment their chivalry, and it feels so weird to me because I think to myself, wow, what has society devolved to?
Yes.
Simple things like opening a door is something that gets high praise, and I don't know if it's because they're young or what. But it's always strange to me. But that's the thing, like my boys, they're always super willing to help me with something, and they get upset when I don't let them. And so I think that because I had a teacher in high school who would say that all the time, that she hasn't pumped her own gas for herself and things like that. Because her dad always does it for her and everything. But hey, I guess if those things are the things that are important to a person and they feel like that's what's going to make their relationship, then that's their prerogative. But back to the whole married but single, I think the biggest section of that is when you have children. I'm single, you're married. Let's think about married but single strictly from the relationship standpoint without having kids, because I think that's more so what you were getting at with the lack of romance.
No, I don't think that was just one piece that came into the conversation, and I think that one piece is because I'm a little bit older now, and the people in my age group, not me because I'm still raising children, but they're in that empty nest phase,
right?
And they have the expectation of what they think it's going to look like,
right?
That we're almost at the point for couples that they're at an age that they're thinking, okay, we're going to retire, we're going to travel, and they see it a certain way.
I mean, I think that
And
does that conversation happen, because I've been hearing a lot about people's marriages not surviving once they get to the empty
that's
nest.
true. It is
Because you
true.
don't have anything to distract you now. The kids are out of the house.
Let me just tell you why. That's could be a married but single issue, but it's the silent. It's the silent answer. It's the marriage has already died, but they're raising children, and they both in their hearts have made a decision they're going to let the kids get grown. And so you know how I have my hypothetical scenarios essence. I say, okay, the kid went off to college and they come back from Thanksgiving and the parents are getting a divorce. What? I had the best mom and dad. We had the best family. All my friends came over and we did things together, and my parents are getting a divorce. Nobody, neither the man or the woman didn't say anything, but they just knew in their hearts that that really is married but single.
Right.
That they already had known in their heart, when these kids get out this house, we're gonna get a divorce. And it was just a silent. It was just a silent
what I don't understand.
answer.
If you go that long, 18 years, like, and I get it because you have the rest of your life to live or whatever. I get that. I just think y'all made it this far. Y'all can't figure it out. Y'all can't. But the thing about it is, the married but single is you stop dating each other.
Okay.
You stop dating each
So
other.
okay, so we're gonna wind it down.
Any older couple that I've ever heard talk about their marriage is like, you always keep dating her. Whatever y'all were doing for each other, with each other when y'all first got together, were first married, you have to keep doing it. So you're married but single when you stop dating each other.
So we're gonna wind down our conversation on today, married but single. I'm going to take your point and you develop the new one. How do you be married and be married, I guess? And you say keep dating, and I'm going to say keep communicating. If you communicate your expectations and keep revisiting those conversations, and that way you have a sound relationship. You say date, keep dating, and I say let's communicate, and we'll leave it right there. My name is Donica.
This is Essence.
Thank you for joining.